about this stuff. The truth of it. Now, I don't want to just quickly. An accurate knowledge. He knows what they're talking about. It's been spread around to Felix to hear when Paul was talking to him here. Chapter 26. Again, another common passage we read. Beginning in verse 24. So it says, and he made, as he was saying these things, voice, Paul, you're out of your mind. Your great learning is out of my mind, most excellent Festus. But I'm speaking truth. These things, and to him I speak boldly, for I am persuaded. For this has not been done in a corner. You believe. And Agrippa said to Paul in a short, and Paul said, whether short or long, I would to God that not only you, but all who hear me, this, except for these chains. Both of these accounts now no. It says now both Felix and Agrippa no. Around knows, but then he looks at Agrippa and asks him the question. So there again, there's knowledge out there. So what I started thinking about is this fits. Try to spread the gospel now. I think some, at least I do, some thought that to them, and all of a sudden there's going to be this epiphany that you. That's not who we're around, at least in this area a lot. The folks we talk to have heard, profess to believe it. They may not about the Bible. They know about Christ. They know who he was. Some of them are even like Felix and have about the Bible. They know a lot about the scriptures. And so sometimes when we talk to people like that, it can be real discouraging. It's, I can almost feel the frustration in Paul's voice. I've talked to people like that before. I know you know what this says, and I know you believe it. But you just don't do what you're supposed to. You just don't obey. So my point to all of that now is, Paul tried. Paul stood there. He did what he was supposed to do. He did what God put him in a place to do, and he presented the word. He presented to these men what the word said and tried to convince them to follow him. That's our job. Our job is to try. Our job is to get out there, present the word, and as we hear in prayers so often, to plant the seed that God may give the increase. Our job is to get out there and put it out. The other thing is, it's discouraging a lot of times because we don't see maybe that increase. We don't see people lining up to follow in. We want to have that, that moment like Peter and the apostles had, where 5,000 people just, asked, what do we need to do? And then jumped up and did it. Well, we don't see that very much. And I think more often than not, we see what Paul saw here. We put the word out. We get some interest. Maybe people want to talk a few times, have some studies. But they just don't take that last step. They just don't commit. And I think the example for us written here is Paul tried. And even Paul, one of the most notable apostles, as far as we can tell here, failed. He didn't get those conversions, at least not in what we're told here. So we may be that way too. But don't stop. Get out there and continue to spread the word, continue to try to convert those, and continue to try to save the lost souls. So, that being said, that's what I'm doing tonight. I'm going to stand here and I'm going to try it. I'm going to bring the word. I've read from it a little bit. We hear it read from in here a lot, as we should. And so the question comes in, do you believe? And I dare say, for just about everybody here, I can say I know you believe. I doubt you'd be here if you didn't believe. So then what's stopping you? Maybe you're like Agrippa and almost you're persuaded to be a Christian. What's stopping you? What is that almost? What's keeping you from coming up this way? So as I stand here and I try, like Paul tried, if you're someone who's subject to the invitation, someone who hasn't given their life to God and subjected themselves to Christ in baptism, or if you're someone who has and has fallen away and needs to come back, do you believe? I know that you believe. If there's any way we can help you in that need tonight, please come while we stand and sing to encourage you.
For Jesus and me always pure and good, would you walk with him within the narrow road? Would you have him bear your burden, carry all your load? Let him have his way with thee. His fire can make you what you ought to be. His blood can cleanse your heart and make you free. His love can fill your soul and you will see 'twas best for him to have his way with thee. Would you have him make you free and follow at his call? Would you know the peace that comes by giving all? Would you have him save you so that you need never fall? Let him have his way with thee. His fire can make you what you ought to be. His blood can cleanse your heart and make you free. His love can fill your soul and you will see 'twas best for him to have his way with thee. Would you in his kingdom find a place of constant rest? Would you prove him true each providential test? Would you in his service labor always at your best? Let him have his way with thee. His fire can make you what you ought to be. His blood can cleanse your heart and make you free. His love can fill your soul and you will see 'twas best for him to have his way with thee.
Certainly, we appreciate everyone's presence tonight. Appreciate Chris's good words tonight. Something for us to think about. Kind of like we're studying in the auditorium class in the world religions. There's always, or usually, some common idea, even though people may believe differently, may be of a different religion. There's something that we have in common, most likely, that we can begin to talk to people about the one true God and serving that God. let's think about that. If you're not a Christian, then Chris certainly gave us something to think about our own lives and what our relationship is to that one true God. Is there anything that needs to be mentioned before dismissed tonight?
Hannah's grandmother is about the same, so.
Hannah's grandmother's about the same. Okay, let's continue to remember her in prayer. Others that have been mentioned that have been through procedures or going to be. Continue to remember Betty Adams. Let's remember our meeting, gospel meeting will be coming up in about a week and a half, I think. I believe that's right. We've got some flyers here that we need to be passing out and inviting folks to our meeting. Should be a great meeting with Brother Hall. Okay, if there's nothing else, then we'll be dismissed and word approved.